3 step Superhuman Confidence Protocol. I'm going to put the chat up so I can also see it. So if you have any questions or anything at any point, just fire away in based on anything I'm talking about or just in general. So what we're going to look at now is what is confidence. We're going to grow the seed of confidence and then do the Superhuman Confidence Visualization Protocol. So confidence is the quiet inner knowledge that you are capable. So whenever it comes to confidence, one of the things that I hear a lot is I have none. I have no confidence. Or I've never been confident, or I just don't even know what confidence is. I don't know what it would be like. Don't know what it would feel like. So everything that we went through with the postural work and stuff, you can use it and just ask yourself, like, what is confidence to you? Everybody's going to have their own personal feeling of confidence, what confidence is to them. So the understanding that everybody has an area they're confident in, that's the first thing to get across. It might be tying your shoes, it might be getting dressed, it might be talking to people, it could be the sport that you do, it could be anything, but there's somewhere in there is confidence. You just have to use that moving forward to create more confidence. So understanding that you have confidence gives you puts you in the first position so that you can start to build on it. So track the steps you're taking so that you have evidence to work with. Whenever you just say things like, I have no confidence, or I've never been confident, you're implying that you've never done anything for yourself ever in your life, which I imagine, even the fact that you're all here, you're all capable of using your phone, using Zoom. You mightn't be a master at it, but you can write in it, you can mute yourself, unmute yourself. So understanding that you have confidence, you have the ability to do something by yourself, and then tracking that. So the example might be like, because we are going to go into fat loss and stuff later, we might talk about steps. Steps is such an easy thing to track. We can get it on our watch, on our phone. You can count it in your head if you've got that capability. But tracking your steps means that today you could do 100 steps, and tomorrow you could do 110. And then you're confident that you could do at least 100, and you're probably confident that you could do more than 100, and even more than you did the day before. So I'm using a very simple example because most people, in my experience working, will, for example, I had a client that came to me, they were afraid of public speaking. And what they wanted to do was be a stand-up comedian. But they didn't have any steps. They just wanted to go from zero to stand-up comedian, like stand in front of a stage where you're going to get heckled, where you're going to have drunk people, where it's going to be crowded. And when I said to them, have you ever just given a presentation at work? No, fuck, I would never do that. Have you ever give a speech at a wedding or at a birthday or anything? No, fuck, no, not doing that. So they weren't even taking any steps to get there. So what we did was go back. So that we ended up going with, this week I want you to start a conversation with one person. And then once you've done that, start a conversation with 2 people, lead a conversation. That's the first thing that they wanted to do. And then we slowly built on it where they had a birthday coming up. So I was like, just do a speech. It'll be fucking weird for people, but just do a thank you speech for people showing up. We don't normally do it in this country, but it's another way of getting in front of more and more people, and it's safe because you know them all and they're there for you. So they're very unlikely to put you out of your own party unless you're really born. So they did that, and then eventually, not long later, like a couple months, they were on stage at a small gig, and then gigging on since. So they were tracking those steps, right? Fuck, maybe I can speak in front of an audience. I was able to start a conversation with that couple, and I talked to them, and it was easy. And then they were able to do the next bit and track it and track it and track it. So rather than just telling yourself you have nothing, you've no confidence and no way of building it, start to track the mini wins. So the mini win might be, I stood up for myself at work. Normally, what happens is my boss throws work at me and says, "Get that done." I don't have the time to do it. I stress myself out trying to do it, and then I try to do a half-assed job just to get it done. Instead of doing that, you're able to go, "No, I told the boss, I'm flat out, I haven't the time to do this. You're going to need to move it on to someone else." So that mini win over time, those all build and become massive wins. So tracking the steps of your improving your confidence, one, it will show the development and how more confident you're becoming. And the second thing it will do is give you more self-awareness. So the next time you come into a task, like just off the top of my head, if someone working here took me into their work, even though you know I'm a confident person and you believe that I'm super confident, if you took me in your work, I would not look confident because I wouldn't know what the fuck I was doing. I don't even know what your work is for a start. But if you took me in there, I'm probably, you would do things blindfolded, eyes closed. Fuck, you're blindfolded, you don't need your eyes closed. You know what I mean? Eyes closed, hands tied behind your back. You would do things and then you'd tell me to do it and I would fuck it up and you'd be like, it's so simple. Because we forget how far we've come along and what we're doing. So just because I'm confident in general doesn't mean I'm going to be confident in an area that I have no knowledge in. But what I would be is confident that if you give me enough time, I'll learn enough, I'll develop enough skill, and I will get to a point where I'm competent in what I'm trying to do here. So it's not about just having this magic confidence that just works for everything. Like that's more cocky than confidence. Confidence is backed by knowledge. Cockiness is backed by ego. So think about it that way. If you are willing to slowly develop the confidence and celebrate the many wins, track as you go, by the end of the year, you'll be more confident than you were now, and you'll be more confident than the person that's either trying to fake it or trying to hide away from it. Challenge yourself to get one foot outside your comfort zone. So sometimes it's too much to go the full way. Like tomorrow, I'm going to just jump out of a plane when I'm afraid of heights. That's probably not a great idea. But what you could do is stand on a curb. What the fuck did I say curb? So weird. Curb. Can't say it any other way, it seems. Stand on a curb and look down. Technically, you're on a height, but it's because it's not in your awareness of something you should be afraid of. You just walk up and down curbs all the time, even though I said it differently that time. Even though you could still trip and fall, there's no reason to be afraid of it in your mind. There's different, like your fear of heights has a limit. Like I'm not afraid of heights, like a curb or stairs. I'm afraid of like a lift. So you're afraid of something else. You're afraid of height as in like being really high up. So understanding what your fear is or where your comfort zone actually is, and then start to just dip the foot out of it. So maybe I'm just going to climb a step ladder. Like, let's do it safely. Obviously, I'm not advising everyone to go climbing step ladders in home base, but do a safe step ladder climb. Just challenge yourself slightly more each time. Like the example of the guy who wanted to be a comedian. Talking to one person, he was fine with, but he was never the engager of the conversation. So if you have socialized anxiety, there's a good chance you're not as well. So if you challenge yourself, I'm going to ask a question, and it could be something simple where somebody at work, you ask them where the stapler is. You ask them, did they watch Strictly Come Dancing? You ask them, so I don't know. I don't know. I work by myself, so I don't have many examples. But you know what I mean. You just pick something subtle and simple that you can ask, and that is one foot outside the comfort zone. And then you could ask them a little deeper question the next time, like, "Did you watch Strictly Come Dancing?" And whenever John Fashion you, I just assume that it's shit old people that like used to be on TV but aren't anymore. So Z celebrities, John Fashion you. I can't even remember what he did, but he's the first name coming to my head. Did you see the way he did the waltz? I didn't like X, Y, and Z. What did you think? So now you're having a conversation instead of just asking a question. So one foot out instead of full bore. So then again, you're able to move forward, you're able to track that, and you're able to become more confident because you're developing confidence rather than hoping that you have it or just wishfully thinking that it's going to appear. And then something I advise everyone to do is write a boasting letter. This is, if you've read my book, this is in the book as well. This is a letter of all the things that you have done and achieved in your life, no matter how small they are to other people or how big they might seem to other people. They're for you and you alone. You don't even have to show this letter to anyone. But this is a letter that shows anytime you lack confidence, anytime you're afraid or think you can't succeed or think um, your worth has been lowered or whatever it is, you're able to look at this boasting letter and remind yourself, well, I did all this. I've achieved this. So my boasting letter would consist of things as big as being on Ninja Warrior, writing my own book, and as small as teaching my niece left and right by which one looks like an L and which one doesn't look like an L. So she could put her shoes on because she used to wear them in the wrong feet and she should do my nut on. It looked so uncomfortable. So you just write anything. It could be started a conversation at work, boasting letter, date, boom, there you go. The other thing I like about the boasting letter is it's almost like your future happy self. So if you're feeling anxious or sad or just feeling a bit shitty, you look at this boasting letter and it's almost like the positive version of you that you're going to be again in the future, saying, here, fucking look at all the stuff we've already accomplished and already achieved. We are capable, we have confidence, we are able. So that's why I think the boasting letter is an amazing tool to have. So how to be more confident, track your confidence levels. So just like you would track your food, your calories, everything, track your confidence levels. Challenge yourself to do more things outside of your comfort zone and write a boasting letter. And the more you do the first two, the bigger your boasting letter will become. So we're going to find some confidence. So I want you to think of an area that you're already confident in. So just for easiness, close your eyes and just think of an area you're already confident in. How does that confidence actually feel? So we've done a few awareness drills. We've switched on to ourselves. So how does the confidence actually feel? So whatever area that is, and again, it could be you are the best at picking the Chinese restaurants. You're great at baking. You're a good listener. You can actually dress yourself for public outings, like whatever. It can be small, it can be massive, it doesn't matter. And then just lock in how that feels, so you can either write it down, you can let me know in the comments in the chat if you want. Then you allow your eyes to open again. Some self-praise practice is one of my favorite things to get people to do. So think of something you really like about yourself and say it out loud. So you're all muted anyway, so it's fine. So think of something that you like about yourself and say it out loud. The feeling of I can do this shit. Yes, that is confidence. Feel free to type in the chat what you like about yourself as well, just because you can. So it can be anything. It can be your hair, it can be your feet, it can be your shoes, it can be your ability to run really fast. It's just that was connected to shoes. Remember when you were a kid and you get new shoes and then all of a sudden you were like the fastest. You go and race everybody in the playground. Fucking race you. New shoes, let's go. So it can be anything, doesn't matter. And then think of something that you love about yourself. So there's a massive difference between like and love. So what do you love about yourself? And then shout it out loud. So that can be, again, back to listening, like being a good listener, something people love about themselves whenever they can do it. Being a public speaker, the work that you do, that you help people. I love that I am someone that people can come to when they are in trouble. I love the way I cook, and whatever it is, shout it out loud. So we're saying one out loud and we're shouting the other one out loud. If there's anybody with you, feel free to get them to do it as well, just because they're there. Let me know in the comments in the chat if, or a thumb up or whatever, if you did that, how it felt. So by now you should be tuning. Every time we do something like this, you should be tuning in. How did it feel? Love that you can take amazing photography. Yes, I have seen your photography. It is good. And someone can smile even when they're down. Yeah. So making people smile is an awesome thing in general. And you can just do that by smiling at them. They'll think it's weird initially, and then eventually they'll laugh. Or put you out of their house. People tend to come to you for advice or a friendly ear. Yeah. Knowing that you're a person that people can come to and just offload their woes is an amazing position to be in. in general as well. So the last bit is, where do you want more confidence? So think of an area of your life that you want to be confident in, and then you just bring that confidence with you. So we did the first bit, the self-praise, and we're looking at what confidence is, what it feels like. So for easy math, if I know that confidence feels warm, so my body feels warm when I'm confident, then I can say to myself, like whenever I go in to do something I'm not confident in, so the day that you bring me to your work to do your work, I can say to myself, right, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here, but I know what confidence feels like, so it feels warm. So if I just bring that feeling with me, I'm going to be more confident that I'm capable of learning. I'm not going to try to do the job perfectly, but what I'm going to try to do is set myself up to get the best out of it and to be as much use for the person that's brought me here. So I bring that warmth with me. So that's the idea of knowing what confidence feels like. You're self-aware, back to self-awareness again, which is the overarching theme of today. Having that self-awareness, having that confidence, feeling and knowing what it feels like and knowing how it works and bringing that into my body when I go into a situation I'm not confident in, that will all automatically make me feel more confident, and feeling more confident makes me more confident. Confidence is just a feeling, it's not something we can tangibly hold. So let me know in the chat an area you would like to be confident in, and also what confidence feels like. Does it feel warm? Does it feel like a strength, a fuzzy feeling? Let me know in the chat what that is. So this is how we grow the seed of confidence. We find the seed that we have, whatever area that is, and then we build upon that. So let me know in the chat before we go to that. Feels warm, happy, and content. Nice. So imagine if you had that warm, happy, content feeling and you took it into an area that you were like not confident in. Even if you just went in feeling warm, happy, and content, you're already going to do better. It's already a better situation to be in than the one you were previously in, which I was more confident in my abilities to complete university work. So that for me, that would be, I wish I was more confident in my ability to focus. So maybe time management is the issue there. You want to lock down, this is when I work on my university work. I take 90 minutes a day, and I just work until that 90 minutes is up, and then I come back. Confidence is warm, like I said, and you disappeared. So where did that go? Confidence. I was reading that. Yeah. So feeling like you can do anything. So imagine you take that confident feeling into anything that you're trying to do. Confidence, delivering workshops, awesome. Talking to people in a social situation. So you can handle a work situation. So you just take that handling of work situation. How does that feel? So I would sit down, I would visualize, I'd focus on that. And then I would take that into bars, etc., whenever they all reopen. So I know I'm confident in that area. I'm just going to take that confidence into this area. People often say come across super confident, especially at work, talking to strangers over the phone, etc. Inside, I am the complete opposite. So you think you're the complete opposite, but you probably are confident in your job. You probably can talk to complete strangers and do whatever it is that you do. You just don't feel it in other areas of your life. If you do feel it in work, then work's an easy one. If we're unconfident at work, we can just look at our reports or stats or the work that we're getting done. We can look at it and go, right, I feel unconfident, but then I look at this, I've got all this done, I've helped all this. These people, I've done all this, I've done X, Y, and Z. So I don't feel it, but I'm doing it. So maybe I am good at it. So it's the self-talk rather than the negative self-talk rather than the confidence, which would come back to anxiety. If you have any form of anxiety, the self-talk can come in because we're afraid of failing. We're afraid of people thinking badly of us. So we just switch up the way we think about what we're doing. We think, oh, I'm not really that good at it, so I can't really fuck it up because I'm not really trying, because I don't really know what I'm doing. And we can talk ourselves out of it. But if you just looked at the actual numbers, or however you can track your work, and you'll be able to say, well, actually, it turns out that what I'm doing here is really good work. So I don't need to focus on the confidence because I know I'm doing it. So then if you just do some self-awareness drills, like the one that we're about to do in a minute, tune into that confidence, you can switch it on and off whenever you want. Like to be more confident managing my stress. So hopefully in this you're learning more ways of dealing with stress. Um, more mindset training that you do, the more visualization drills and breath work and everything will help you to just um, you're not trying to then just manage the stress. You start to understand the stress. What is the triggers? Why am I stressed in general? Why does this do this that makes this, which ends up stress? You're able to come back and counterbalance it. So hopefully that'll happen the more that you work with all this stuff. Confident, but I don't always feel that way. So again, you don't always feel confident. We don't have to. I don't walk around just feeling super confident the whole time. It's just not something I'm aware of all the time. The I just know that if I need it, I can switch it on and I can fire. Like a couple of weeks ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, I was on stage for the first time in since the whole lockdown thing happened. I know I could just switch on. I do what we're about to do in a minute. I visualize what I'm like on stage, what that feels like, how I engage, how I move, and then I just go and do it because I've just reinforced that this is something I'm capable of and this is what it feels like to do it. So I just engage that feeling and I just move forward. You don't have to be confident all the time. That's not the way it has to work. Recognizing and talking to myself in a more positive. Yeah. So self-talk. This is a wee bit where this next one comes into play. But thinking about your anxiety and locking in the way you speak to yourself. So I was saying about the way people use words in the past. If I go right back, so like so happy feels like you're in front of the sun. Content, no worry. So thinking about all that. So I'm just back looking at the chat for anxiety and things like content and no worries, totally relaxed, no worries. So no worries is 2 in a row here. We've got no worries, in control. So if you were to think about that, then the opposite is worried and out of control. So if that's how you talk to yourself, then you work out, what am I have no worries. What are my worries? What am I worried about? And why do I keep focusing on them? So understanding the words that you use and changing that self-talk, changing the tone of it, changing the way it works with you. I do have a self-talk session that I suppose I could put out somewhere so people can get it. But just being self-aware, noticing that I'm talking down to myself, noticing that I'm treating myself negatively, that's going to be the first step towards changing it. So now we're going to take a couple of minutes. We're going to go through the Superhuman Confidence Visualization Protocol. So if it's safe for you to do so, just allow your eyes to close. And I just want you to bring your focus to your breath. Try to make your breath a little deeper. And as you breathe nice and deeply, notice as your chest lifts, just relaxes, your shoulders sink, your neck relaxes, your head relaxes. Just bring your attention into that breath. Just keep it there for that moment. So as you're just breathing and allowing that just to create a nice, slow, relaxed rhythm, I want you to remember a time where you felt confident. So you've already went through this, so you should have at least one in mind. We feel confident, where you know that you're going to achieve whatever you set out to achieve. You know that you're good at whatever it is that you're doing. And just visualize yourself in that moment as much as you can. So what does that look like? Are you standing tall? Is there people around you? Try to make it as vivid and clear and as focused as you can. Try to engage everything with it. Try to engage your sight, your smell. Like, what would you smell? What would you see? What would you hear? Who would be around you in this moment? Make it as vivid and as bright as you possibly can. And tune into the sensation and the feeling of that confidence in the body. Where does it start? Does it start in your heart, in your chest, in your stomach, in your head? Is it warm? Is it fuzzy? What does it feel like? Start to engage with that feeling, and imagine as you breathe, it just starts to filter out, filling up the entire body, filling your chest, right up your shoulders, down to your fingertips, up your neck to the top of your head, relaxing your jaw. Imagine it traveling down your back, your stomach, into your hips, your knees, your ankles, your toes. Imagine every muscle, cell, and fiber of your body engaging with this confident feeling. And the more you breathe and the more you focus on that confident feeling, the more you see that image vivid in your mind, stronger than it gets, the more intense the feeling gets. In fact, you'll notice it just changing your mood completely. As you sit or stand there, maybe you'll feel yourself just becoming lighter, more relaxed, noticing that your mind isn't wandering anymore. It's just connected and visualizing this confident version of yourself. And imagine now if you could intensify that even more, if you could multiply it by 10, that confidence by 10, by 100. Imagine what that'd be like if it just flowed through your body, just tip of the toe, right to the top of your head, right to the tip of your fingers. Every muscle, cell, and fiber just getting washed over with this confident feeling, this strength, this self-belief, this self-worth, knowing that you can do and achieve whatever you want to in life. That knowing being backed by the things you've already done, the things you already overcome, the things that you already struggled with, but you managed to just move forward with. Imagine every muscle, every cell, every fiber of your body engaging with this. Feeling the strength of that confidence, that self-assurance, that self-belief. And I want you to imagine taking all of that into your person now, right back to here. So you were visualizing a time you were confident. I want you to bring that all into you now as you sit there, stand where you are. Bring that confidence in, knowing that moving forward, you will be able to do whatever it is that you want to do, achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve. Taking everything that you learned from today and being able to put it into your life, implementing it so that you achieve the things you want to achieve. Not allowing yourself to make excuses or hold yourself back. Allowing yourself to engage as much as you can with this confident life, this confident feeling, this self-assurance, that self-belief moving forward. And just bring it into you where you are right now and just breathe that in. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you breathe out, just feel it locking in place. Take one more deep breath in. And as you breathe out, feel it locking in place even more. One last breath in. This time, as you breathe out, allow your eyes to open to lock that completely in place. That confidence, that self-belief, that self-awareness. And then let me know in the chat how that was. If you enjoyed this training and would like to work with me more and become part of a community of like-minded ladies who are working towards their mental, emotional strength and aiming to live the life that they've dreamed of, losing weight along the way and enjoying it, while celebrating the many wins with everybody within the community, then hit the button below to join the Superhuman Confidence and Weight Loss Accelerator group. Within this group, you'll have live training that will be from a specialist PT, from mobility, from mindset to yoga to Q&As to special guests. There's so much that goes on within this group that there is no way there won't be something for you. So join the group today, and I look forward to working with you in the future.